We talking about sports, baby. The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat, those moments etched in our memories forever. We're talking about Michael soaring through the air, Bolt defying the laws of physics, Serena, the queen, holding that trophy high. These are the stories that make us jump out of our seats, the moments that give us chills. So strap yourselves in, folks, because we're about to take a trip down memory lane and relive 10 legendary moments in sports history. And let me tell you something, these stories ain't just about the game, they're about courage, determination, and the power of the human spirit. (1947), America's still grappling with segregation, still divided along racial lines. But then, on April 15th, a young man named Jackie Robinson steps onto Ebbets Field in Brooklyn, and everything changes. He wasn't just another player, he was a symbol of hope, a beacon of change in a time of deep-seated prejudice. Jackie Robinson, with the weight of a nation on his shoulders, dared to challenge the status quo. Now let me tell you something, this brother faced it all. Death threats, vicious insults, blatant discrimination. But through it all, Robinson remained a class act, letting his talent do the talking on the field. And let me tell you, he could play. Speed, agility, power, Robinson had it all. He wasn't just breaking barriers, he was shattering them, paving the way for generations of black athletes to come. Fast forward to 1974, Kinshasa, Zaire. The eyes of the world are on the rumble in the jungle. Muhammad Ali, stripped of his title years before, is back to reclaim his crown against the younger, more powerful George Foreman. Foreman, the heavy hitter, expected to make quick work of Ali, but they didn't call him the greatest for nothing. Ali, the master strategist, the poet of the ring, had a plan. Ali leans back against the ropes, letting Foreman tire himself out with blow after blow. The crowd's going wild, commentators are beside themselves, but Ali, he's calm, collected, waiting for his moment. Then, in the 8th round, bam! Like a bolt from the blue, Ali unleashes a flurry of punches, sending Foreman crashing to the canvas. The world erupts. Ali had done it again, proving his doubters wrong and etching his name in boxing history. We've all seen athletes do the incredible. We've seen records broken. We've seen the impossible become possible. But let me tell you something, folks. What Simone Biles did at the 2019 U.S. Gymnastics Championships, that was different. This young woman, at the peak of her powers, attempted a move so daring, so technically demanding, that most gymnasts wouldn't even think of trying it. They call it the triple-double. Now, I'm not a gymnastics expert, but even I can see the kind of skill, the kind of strength, the kind of sheer athleticism it takes to pull that off. 2 flips and 3 twists in midair, all while maintaining perfect form. Simone Biles didn't just land the triple-double, she made it look easy. Now, there are some out there who try to downplay Simone's accomplishments. They say she's just a product of her time, that she has access to better training and technology. And you know what, they're right. But here's the thing. Having advantages doesn't diminish your achievements, it amplifies them. It means you're not just competing against your peers, you're competing against history itself. And let me tell you something, Simone Biles is leaving her mark on history. She's not just an athlete, she's a phenomenon. She's an inspiration to young girls and boys all over the world, showing them that with hard work, dedication, and a whole lot of talent, anything is possible. So let's give it up for Simone Biles, a true icon, a game changer, and a force to be reckoned with. This young lady is special, and don't you ever forget it. They say records are made to be broken. But there are some records, folks, that seem so unbreakable, so far beyond human capability, that they take on a mythical quality. That's what the 4-minute mile was. For years, runners, scientists, and sports fans alike believed that running a mile in under 4 minutes was simply impossible. It was a physical and psychological barrier that seemed destined to stand the test of time. But then along came Roger Bannister. Now, Bannister wasn't some superhuman athlete. He wasn't blessed with extraordinary genetics or access to some secret training regimen. He was just a regular guy with an extraordinary amount of heart and determination. On a windy day in Oxford, England, Roger Bannister stepped onto the track with a singular goal in mind: to break the 4-minute mile and prove the doubters wrong. And you know what? He did it. With every ounce of strength he had, Bannister pushed himself beyond what anyone thought was possible. He crossed that finish line in 3 minutes and 59.4 seconds, shattering the 4-minute barrier and changing the world of athletics forever. Now, some might say it was just a number, just a few seconds shaved off a race. But it was so much more than that. It was a testament to the indomitable spirit of the human being, the ability to overcome any obstacle, no matter how daunting. Bannister's achievement sent shockwaves throughout the world. Runners who had once believed the 4-minute mile was an impossible dream were suddenly inspired to push their own limits. And you know what happened? Within a year of Bannister's record-breaking run, multiple runners had broken the 4-minute barrier themselves. It proved that limits are often self-imposed, and that what one person can achieve, others can aspire to. Let me tell you something, folks, there are few athletes in history who have captivated the world quite like Tiger Woods. This man was more than just a golfer. He was a global icon, a symbol of excellence, a force of nature on the golf course. But even legends face adversity. Even the greatest fall from grace. And in recent years we watched as Tiger Woods battled through personal struggles, injuries, and self-doubt. The world looked on as his career seemed to crumble before our very eyes. Now, there were whispers that his best days were behind him, that he would never again reach the pinnacle of his sport. The doubters, the naysayers, they were out in full force, ready to write off one of the greatest golfers of all time. But Tiger, he had other plans. He wasn't ready to fade away into the sunset just yet. He had something to prove, to himself and to the world. And so he returned to Augusta National, the scene of so many of his past triumphs, for the 2019 Masters tournament. The atmosphere was electric. Could Tiger Woods, the fallen champion, reclaim his throne? The entire world watched with bated breath as Tiger battled his way through each round. He faced down younger opponents, he conquered his own demons, and he reminded everyone why he was considered one of the greatest to ever play the game. And then, it came down to the final round. The tension was palpable. Could he do it? Could he complete the comeback? And then, with the weight of the world on his shoulders, Tiger Woods sank the winning putt, securing his 15th major title, and etching his name in golf history once again. The roar of the crowd was deafening. Tears flowed freely. It was a moment that transcended sports, a testament to the power of perseverance, the triumph of the human spirit. Tiger Woods, against all odds, had done it. He had returned from the brink to reclaim his place among the legends. We talking about the 1986 World Cup, baby. Argentina versus England, and the stakes couldn't be higher. National pride on the line, a rivalry for the ages, and then comes Diego Maradona, El Pibe de Oro, the golden boy himself. Now, I'm not saying what he did was right, but let's call it resourceful. The hand of God, they called it. A little help from above, maybe a little help from the wrist, but guess what? It counted. England fuming, Maradona's celebrating, and the world's going crazy. Controversial? You better believe it. But hey, sometimes you gotta bend the rules a little to make history. Now before you go thinking Maradona was all trickery and no talent, hold your horses. Minutes after the hand of God, he goes and does something truly magical. Picks up the ball in his own half, and then it's like watching poetry in motion. 5 English players, they couldn't touch him. He's dancing through the defense, leaves them for dead, and then slots it past the keeper like it's nothing. The goal of the century, they called it. And you know what? They ain't lying. Serena Williams, the name alone sends chills down your spine. A force of nature on the court, a champion for the ages. But at the 2017 Australian Open, she wasn't just battling opponents, she was battling something else entirely. She was pregnant, folks. Pregnant. Now some might have taken a break, put their feet up. Not Serena, she's built different. She stepped onto that court with a fire in her belly, and let me tell you, she was not messing around. She fought her way through the tournament, match after match, proving why she's one of the greatest. And then, in the final, who does she face? Her own sister, Venus. Talk about a family affair. But blood couldn't stop Serena that day. She was on a mission. She dominated the match, took home her 23rd Grand Slam title, and did it all while carrying a future champion. Unbelievable. Inspirational. That's Serena Williams for you. (1980) Lake Placid, New York. The Cold War's at its peak, tensions are high, and the hockey rink becomes a battleground. The mighty Soviet Union, a dynasty on ice, facing off against a bunch of American college kids. Nobody gave the US a chance. And I mean nobody. The Soviets were a machine, undefeated in the Olympics for decades. They were bigger, stronger, more experienced. It was David versus Goliath, but with skates and sticks. But these young Americans, they had heart, they had grit, they had something to prove, and they played their hearts out every single shift. The game went back and forth, tension so thick you could cut it with a skate blade. And then, in the final seconds, the impossible happened. The Americans scored, they took the lead, and as the clock ticked down, Al Michaels uttered those immortal words, "Do you believe in miracles?" Yes. The miracle on ice was complete. A victory for the ages, a moment that transcended sports. It showed the world that anything is possible if you dare to dream. Listen up, folks. We're talking about speed, about raw, unadulterated athleticism. 2008 Beijing Olympics, the world is watching, and there he is. Usain St. Leo Bolt. This ain't no ordinary runner, no sir. This man is different. The swagger, the confidence, he knew he was gonna win, and you know what? Everybody else knew it too. They're lined up, tension thicker than a bowl of Jamaican porridge, the gun fires, boom! And it's like someone shot a cannonball out of a cannon. Bolt explodes off the line, leaving everyone eating his dust. I'm talking about a world-class field, and they're looking like they're stuck in quicksand. Now halfway through, and let me tell you, this is where it gets ridiculous. Bolt's so far ahead, he starts looking around. He's checking the clock, and I'm talking checking the clock with a huge lead. And then, the unthinkable. He starts celebrating before he even crosses the finish line, throws his arms out, beats on his chest, the whole 9 yards. Who does that? The man breaks a world record while he's up, 9.69 seconds, unheard of. Never been done before, and frankly we may never see it again. Usain Bolt, you my friend are not human. You are a force of nature, a once-in-a-generation talent. (1989 NBA playoffs, Bulls versus Cavaliers Game 5. We're talking high stakes, baby. Win or go home, and the pressure is on, thicker than Chicago deep dish. The clock's ticking down, tension so thick you could cut it with a knife. Bulls are down by 3 seconds left. The ball's inbounded to Michael Jordan. Now you gotta understand, this ain't just any player, this is Michael freaking Jordan. He gets the ball, eyes locked on the basket like a hawk eyeing its prey. Craig Alo's guarding him. But let's be real, nobody guards MJ. He dribbles right, sizes up, elevates. This is it, folks. This is the moment. The crowd's on its feet, everyone holding their breath. And then... he releases the shot, that perfect jump shot. The ball hangs in the air like it's suspended in time. It's a prayer, it's a symphony, it's swish, nothing but net. The buzzer sounds, the crowd erupts, Chicago goes wild. Michael Jordan, with ice in his veins, just hit the shot. The game winner, the shot that etched his name in basketball history. That fist pump, that iconic celebration. That's what legends are made of. Michael Jordan, you, my friend, are clutch. This wasn't just a shot, it was a statement. A declaration that when the game's on the line, there's nobody else you want with the ball in their hands. From Jackie Robinson breaking barriers to Michael Jordan defying gravity, these moments are more than just highlights. They're the soul of sports. These athletes, they dug deep, they faced adversity, they stared down defeat and said, "Not today." They showed us what it means to have heart, to have grit, to chase greatness. These legendary moments, they give us chills, they make us jump out of our seats, they remind us why we love sports. It's more than just games, folks. It's about the human spirit, the will to win, the pursuit of excellence. Which moment moved you the most? Hit us up in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more incredible content. Until next time, keep chasing those dreams.